Who's the Democrat that you see who can carry the flag into 2028? Kamala Harris?
No.
AOC?
No.
Rahm Emanuel? Kamala Harris?
No.
AOC?
No.
Rahm Emanuel?
Win the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people.
Yeah.
But who is going to get them to hum and sway? If I had to say one guy, if I were like betting the Kentucky Derby and I saw this 12-1 horse and I said, yeah, I want to get a price, I'd take J.B. Pritzker.
Really? Why?
Well,
not Kamala Harris? She's black.
She has no chance.
Why not?
Because no Democrat wants anything to do with anybody that had anything to do with 2024.
So Kamala Harris can't get the black community to sway and hum?
No, they're not. No. And the other thing is, and this is the best news for Democrats that the party can possibly have.
Yeah.
Just win. They don't. If we nominate two white males, no one's going to give a shit.
Now, when I first heard this, I wanted to really look at Carvel Skeletor is up here disrespecting black Americans, talking about hum and sway if you go to the black church. I want to be offended by it, but it's hard to be offended by it when it's true. It's true. That's what it is. You know, we got to change that. We don't want it to, we don't have to like it, but we got to accept this is our starting point. We need to get to the point of educating our people so that they will no longer fall for the bullshit. But it hasn't been done yet. That's the work that needs to be done. When we hear these activists talking about the work to be done, they're not talking about that. They should be talking about this type of work, the work of truly educating our older folks, our OGs, our patriarchs and our matriarchs. So they stop falling for the okie doke, because somebody just coming in with the right buzzwords and you just going, okay, man, with the right swag, but nothing in the bag. But I agree with him to the point where, I don't believe 2028. I mean, if I was counseling the Democratic Party, I would agree. Nah, it's not. Don't put your money on Kamala. She had $2 billion, fam. Where'd it go? Disqualified. For me, that's disqualified. $2 billion. The closest, she was a heartbeat away from the presidency. And it's like she sat in there, she was in a coma until it was time to run. And that's crazy. Okay. And how you lose the election, basically, by going on The View and being asked a question by your sister girl, a very easy layup question, like, you under the bucket, you 6'9", 7'2", and you can't lay it in the Sonny Hansen asked you, what would you do different than Joe Biden, and you can't come up with one thing you would do different? So either he has you in the Epstein files, or you just dumb, because you got to have that prepared. They got to be locked and loaded in your gun. That you want to be president and you are willing to give some critique to the current administration. Something. So I agree with Carvel there. It can't be Kamala Harris. No one wants to lose and nobody wants a stinker. I know what the goofy people say on Twitter. I know what the goofies say on TikTok. They just look at that identity. They're not looking at policy and what she really about. This book tour has been a failure. Moving on. AOC. I agree with Carvel there. Nah, it will not be AOC. Uninteresting. I don't even think, fam, if AOC was to become the Democratic nominee, we'd have to hear that. We'd have to hear her talk in the word salad, in the platitudes and that bullshit. I don't know, man. Just, it make you want to stab yourself in the ear with a sharp knife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be The only way to get away from that noise. AOC does not have any true connection with Black Americans and really with working class people. Working class people really are not moved by AOC. That's what it is. You're going to need some of those people. Rahm Emanuel, hell no. I mean, only the dumbest of the dumb would even float the name Rahm Emanuel. This guy's claim to fame is being the mayor of Chicago when a crime was when a young man, a 17-year-old, Laquan McDonald, was shot multiple times by a police force, and then he helped cover that shit up. To me, the fact he's even in public life at all, the fact he is somewhere in Serbia or Siberia, somewhere cold and far away, like trying to just, I don't know, maybe take up painting like Bush. He's done so. He should be gone. So look, basically what I'm saying is there are no easy picks. Carver said you got to be able to raise money and lots of it early, which means people already have confidence in you. I don't know about that. Who that's gonna be? And then you got to be able to get the Black vote. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, what about Jasmine Crockett? You would have to be able to raise money early, which would mean people would have to believe in you. I know you love it when she's roasting Trump. I know you think it's cool when she goes after the governor Abbott for his disability. He can't walk. I know you think that's hilarious. But in reality, the fundraising, I don't think people really believe that she can get the job done. So that's a non-starter also for those reasons. She would have to do something political to make herself viable, because up to now, all she's done is what I'm doing. And fam, talking, I know it's a great skill. We love talking. Talking matters, right? But at the end of the day, that's all you're doing, fam. And if Jasmine Crockett is on your bingo card for president or for the Democratic nominee in 2028, well, shit, hello? I can talk. I talk. In fact, I'm more on the issues than Jasmine Crockett. Last time Jasmine Crockett talked about the cost of living for Black Americans, the home ownership rate for Black Americans. When has she been on code with these issues? She hasn't been. Unfortunately, until we get our IQ up as a people, as a voting bloc, that won't be enough to stop anybody, because we ain't holding people accountable on that. As long as you come in and get as Carville's saying, once again, you can get upset with the rhetoric, but you got to accept that this is the starting point. Don't get mad at the truth. Let's change it. And if you get the church-going Black people to hum and sway, then you got a chance. That's all Biden was doing. That's all Clinton was doing. And that's all Obama was doing. And I'm still seeing people put up Obama videos. Yeah, look at Obama. We remember the days when Obama was president and everyone was happy. Because he threw parties at the White House. Meanwhile, we had the most, Black people lost the most amount of ground financially under Obama. The housing crisis, which was not all his fault, but the solutions to it showed me a hard pass on caring about Black Americans. But to the people that don't care about substance, and all they remember he was with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Remember that time, the Aretha Franklin tribute. Remember the time, remember the thing, he said the thing, remember the joke, remember Key and Peele show, which was the Dave Chappelle show, but Key and Peele just kind of did it over. Remember that thing, remember the time, they're just caught on nostalgia. But it's obvious their pockets weren't hurting. If their family had their houses foreclosed on, if Big Mama lost their house under Obama, you think differently. You know what I'm saying? So as far as 2028, fam, all I can say is it's still up for grabs. There's time. It's not a lot of time, but there's still time. But as I'm looking at the field right now, the only upside for the Democrats is Trump can't run again. maybe the Democrats would not be running against a guy that won his nomination 3 times in a row. Something I've never seen a Democrat do. Okay? Let's keep going. Hit the like button if that makes sense. So the only winning point for the Democrats in 2028, no matter who they run, is they might be running against J.D. Vance or some shit. Or Vivek. And yeah, you got a chance. You could almost run a cheeseburger and have a shot against Vivek. Vivek don't like Vivek. You know what I'm saying? Become a member of this show. Go to jointimberlake.com.